the fuck?
What is going on?
What the fuck?
What is going on, man? What the hell is going on?
What was that? Okay, so
What was
for
what?
those of you in the audience that are just coming in, we got started going into our discussion, not realizing that the live shut down on every single platform except the one we recorded on, and only 50 seconds of it at most got out. Only 50 seconds.
That is.
What?
When you left us and we come back out, it was just a black screen for me.
I know. I had to
back
reload it
into
in
Internet
order
Explorer
to start up another stream to try to bring us back.
I'm telling you, it's the reptilian aliens in Miami.
What the fuck? Yeah, we can
Is it
see
because
comments.
we mentioned the Epstein Island?
Yeah, great start, right? Yes, we can see you.
Yeah, we can see you. Hey Jenny.
Hey Jenny. Hey Lawrence. Hey Facebook person.
Facebook user. I just don't know what's going on.
I know, we started going right into it. We were talking. Yeah, talk about a fucking start to the new year, man. God.
I know, Stephanie. I don't know. I mean, we've got 10 people watching us now. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I mean, what did you guys see? What did you guys hear? Did they hear something weird?
Facebook user, you got to realize we streamed to more than one platform at once.
Yes. You're going through Ghost Squad Scotland. You're going through 5 different Facebook destinations.
We're going out to 20 different destinations from this stream right now.
But on Facebook,
20 altogether. I think I know who that one was. I was making fun of them on your Facebook page because they were trying to harass you for not. We were trying to say you were. I don't know what I'm talking about. This was weird. Oh,
did you see?
Hi, Ann.
Did you hear something weird? Because I seen somebody saying, "What was that?"
That was
it
me.
Went blank. See, well, I was after I mentioned. What was that? It's after I mentioned the Epstein Island, and then it all just went weird.
Here, unexplained IE 3-second clip live stream died with black screen and a 22-second clip available on YouTube. Yeah. On YouTube, it was only about 20 seconds. Facebook went for about 50. What the fuck?
Exactly. What?
And I think we actually had a bunch more people jump in because of it. So thank you.
Yeah. We'll get 14 watching. We'll get 15 watching actually. On YouTube, we'll get YouTube, we'll get 14, and then 1 person in the Facebook world.
I mean, fuck. Talk about a start to the new year.
I'll tell you, there's some really strange stuff happening in the. I'm going to say something here, and I don't know if anybody's noticed this. Does anybody think that the internet is acting weird?
Like, do we have any solar flares going on right now?
No, I don't think so. I've noticed it because I used to get a full 4G where I stay, and now it's usually 3G.
Hold on. Extremely powerful New Year's Eve solar flares still causing radio blackouts. Wi-Fi does run through radio broadcasts. So, yeah.
See, that's what it is. It's the alien reptilians that invaded the mall in Miami.
Telling you weird stuff going on. Don't you think we know that, Lulu?
I mean, I've only got one thing to say about the Miami aliens. They need to go shopping too. But I don't think it was aliens, guys. To be honest,
the earthquake in Japan, the Epstein files being slowly rolled out, the Miami alien invasion, for lack of better term.
Yes.
My own little incident the other night. This shit's getting weird, man. And we're not even a week into 2024 yet. Not even a week, and we already got this.
There's Alan saying that the internet's acting up. But Alan, your internet is extremely slow.
That's Titanic, what you get for watching so much porn.
The Titanic, Alan is terrible. Alan, your internet is awfully slow. I've see the radio in the Titanic, the Morse code thing was quicker internet than he had.
Yeah. Oh.
With Samuel Bell, just reading all the guys. It's good to see you. So thank God it's
Yeah,
going over to the audio video. God, I will say this. Check out. Did you see Jenny's live she did the other
I
night?
did catch a few bits of it. Yes.
See the EVPs and that. Holy shit! Remember, guys, check out Emerald Isles Paranormal. Brilliant live investigation she did. So
Anyway, how the
Island.
hell is everybody?
Well, I'm fine. I'm jolly. The rest of the when no doing the shows was quite good. But it's good to be back again because I was missing no day in my shows. You know what I mean? My Saturday and
no.
Sunday night of
You got to
madness and
recharge
shows.
every now and then, but you get to miss it for a while.
Look, Christmas time, New Year time, it was good, but that's it hour now. It's now 2024. What mad things will ensue?
I know we already have so many people saying that 2024 is going to be the year of disclosure, and we're opening up with an alien gunfight in fucking Miami of all places.
Right, I'm going to say this. I mean, all the kids running out of that place, it could have been one of these weird TikTok things, right? You can't have the day they kind of TikTok things. I will say there was a lot of police cars there, and then the only footage of the aliens is a helicopter half a mile up looking down. Right?
And when you really look at it,
You telling me police officers don't have phones?
Body cams, one.
Aye.
Yes. But here's the thing: the particular angle that was from, the figure, easily a shadow.
Yes.
Coming off of a person that was walking out of the mall.
See, it'll be interesting because a lot of the officers had body cams, right? Like you say. And in America, and I know it's the same in Britain, you can request to see that footage.
Mm-hmm.
And if they delete that footage, well, then you think, oh, well, there's something going on because they deleted the footage. But see if you get to see that footage and it's three folks stunning. I don't think it's an alien thing. I think it's like a psyop kind of thing to try and turn your eyes away for this Jeffrey Epstein's Island kind of thing.
Here's the thing. You got to take into consideration, it doesn't take much. With every major viral incident, we always have people trying to claim that they were there, they saw this go down, there was gunshots. Honestly, I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that are going to say, "Oh, you believe the news? You're going to believe that?" Blah 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 blah. Okay, first off, yes, that did seem like awfully big response for kids fighting. Here's the thing: they were shooting off fireworks in a big mall like that. The acoustics are going to make it sound like there's a shooting going on, which would prompt an all-car response.
Aye. I mean, I must admit, I was like, holy shit, that is a lot of police cars.
It's like you get that type of response for the major venues like that when you don't know where the shooters are going to be, who's dead, who's walking out, who's actually, if a shooter's going to try to act like a hostage in order to escape.
This is what I'm going to say is I noticed with the helicopter looking down, they say, oh, there's the giant aliens walking about and all that kind of stuff. But if you notice, there's all police looking in towards it for the helicopter, right? So see when we get to see the body footage of that, and all you can see is people running out the door, and they're like, this is what I'm waiting on. I want to see the body footage on the cameras. And then again, if it gets deleted, then there's something going on.
But then again, here's the thing. There's a lot of idiots out there, and I'm going to use this bluntly, that are going to try to say that, oh, why is the person morphing like this in the body cam footage? It's called a fisheye lens. It helps capture more of the scene. It distorts the images because it's technically like looking through a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm going to say this, Tate. I've been watching TikTok. TikTok's for a complete and utter shite. There is some things on that's actually quite entertaining, but I'm going to say there's people on there saying, "Oh, I was at it. I seen it. But then you look at their account and they're French and they're German and they're like, how the hell were you there? And there was one guy the night, he was like, oh, I'm in Japan now. I fled to Japan because the men in black are after me. And what the bloody absolute shit. The men in black. I'm not saying that the men in black don't exist. I think they do exist. I do think they did exist. I don't know what's going on with them now because there's not been many sightings of them.
There hasn't been a lot of sightings in the last few years.
No, because I think they were tied to like the Greys and stuff. I think they were tied to that kind of side of stuff. And I think with everything that's going on with disclosure and stuff like that, I honestly think what happened yesterday, with the other day there, with the Miami thing, it was used. It was used to try and turn the public away from this Jeffrey Epstein island. Exactly. And I honestly do think that. Because the stuff that's coming out of there, I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen the celebrities that have been there?
You gotta be careful because there's a lot of those lists going around that are fabricated. And this is going to be a very sensitive topic, not only for the victims, but for individuals who may have gone to Epstein's Island but had no clue what the hell was going on.
Have you seen the people that have already photoshopped people sitting in Jeffrey Eyes? And you can clearly see it's photoshopped. I mean, there's one of Donald Trump, and he's got his suit on, his presidential badge, and all that kind of stuff, sitting with the women around him. And this is what people don't get. And there's so many stupid people out there that believe so much utter shit.
Exactly.
So on the internet. Hey, Pete, son of the naked Bigfoot, good to see you, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing. These days, it does not take much to stir up a controversy like this because people will buy into it. Yeah. Even those people that are trying to say, oh, they're all dedicated to finding the truth and all that. Yeah. Look here. Here's an analogy I thought of. This came to my brain the other day, and I thought would be perfect, okay? Chest pains. Obviously, can be a very scary thought, especially with the jibby jab. But sometimes those scary chest pains are nothing but gas bubbles. Nothing but shit.
Yeah.
And while, yes, it would be wise that if you genuinely fear that you are having a medical emergency to get medical attention, but sometimes a little bit of yoga and relaxation, calm the fuck down. Why is my camera blurring?
Oh, that's quite interesting. I've noticed a lot of weird anomalies in you in the past couple of weeks, actually. See the videos that you've been doing, there's been a lot of weird stuff happening.
I know.
In your background.
I know. I mean, like, there's that one little anomaly that showed up, like, right over my shoulder, right about there.
I seen that. I seen the video.
All that's right there is a light switch. I had the door shut so the cats would leave me alone, somewhat. No one was moving around in the house. It just kept ducking out. All that's behind there is a closet, and I don't hide anybody in there.
Yeah. I think the anomalies about you, I think, is weird.
It's been picking up lately, though.
It's ever since that show that we did, you were on, there was some weird stuff going on. That was at Christmas time. Remember the show we did, and there's some just weird stuff going on. And I noticed it is picking up more. I noticed the UFO sightings are getting more and more. Then you seen that extraterrestrial on the side of the road. Who got it? What was he wearing? What did he have on?
All I could tell is that it had on some kind of robe.
It wasn't like a beige kind of robe, no. But I'll get into that after the show.
No, I know you already sent me this message. I will say this.
I forgot about that.
Because I know there's already been people that have been asking me for updates. Lulu's one of them. She happened to message me right as I was getting home to start recording that it was happening. But it was purely gray. It looked like it had some sort of shimmer to it. I don't know if that was... It was materialized enough to where it caught my high beams. It caught my headlights. Which interesting in itself because it wasn't foggy or anything like that to where it would be easily a projector. Weather was actually nice. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I saw. I have a couple ideas. I was describing what it looked like, but nevertheless.
It's quite interesting because it's not just that. I've got some friends in the kind of UFO field that do the kind of psychic kind of stuff, and they've been saying things lately, and it's quite interesting. They keep going on about the Anunnaki and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I do mere ghosty stuff. Everybody kens I do mere ghosty stuff and that, but I did alien stuff too. I did alien stuff too, but not as much as obviously Dakota does. And some of the psychics have been coming to me and they've been saying to me about the Anunnaki, they're returning, the Anunnaki are returning. What's your theory on that? I know that they're right, but what's your theory on this? Because a lot of psychics out there are saying that
here's the thing:
the Anunnaki are returning and the gods are coming, Planet X is coming, but I don't think Planet X is what it is. I think it's something else. I think it's like a station or something like that.
There's probably going to be a couple of people in the chat that are going to claim Planet X was a psyop and all that. It was taken advantage of as such, but Nibiru is back. It's a ship. It's a big ass ship. But you also got to acknowledge one thing, and there's something that a lot of people go to ignore because they want themselves to be right and not actually do any fucking investigation.
Yeah.
I can't remember the specific conditions, but Nibiru is actually a translation of the planet Jupiter.
I heard
where
that.
the Nibiru ship is parked.
Yes, it's behind. I heard that it's behind Jupiter, so it's obviously you can't see it now. But I was told that it was big, really big.
It's about the size of a dwarf planet.
Yeah, big, a wee bit bigger than the moon. They're saying that it's absent. It's got different layers and God knows what.
All considering mostly Anunnaki. What's short in Anunnaki is about 7 feet tall.
Yeah. The Planet X, I've read all the Zachariah Sitchin books. Right, I've got them. They're over there. You can't see them, but they're out there on my shelf. I've read all the Zachariah Time Began and all that kind of stuff about Planet X and all that. I don't believe that it's actually a planet that comes into the solar system. I think it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously the ancients, you think about it, it's all the thousands of years ago, right? You think about when man was kind of Stone Age kind of type material, he's seen this ginormous thing coming. What would you think? You would think, oh, look at that, it's a big planet. Oh, it's a big planet. But obviously now we ken that it's something else. It's propelled, it's got motion, it's got engines, it's got power source, it's been built. Okay, I mean, I think something is about to happen. I don't know if it's a false flag for the government. I know everything's starting to wind up to the Project Blue Beam, and everything's winding up to the UFO events, and they're saying there's got to be a fake alien invasion while the government bombs cities and blame it on the wee extraterrestrial dudes that are actually fine and nice. Yeah, I mean, and they're going to blame it on them, and then the one world government will get built, and the world will unite to fight the alien menace. Because let's face it, that's what they want. They want a one world government, so as they can control you. Because let's face it, the American dollar is about to collapse.
It's pretty much shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the pound, the American dollar, the euro, it's not got long to go. I'll tell you, and a lot of people don't realize this, the Chinese money is at the yen, and the Russian ruble are actually higher right now than the dollar, the euro, and the pound. And think about that. They're at war right now. Russia's at war and stuff like that right now. And you would think it'd be the other way around about. But I'm thinking they're planning something. And keep people... What's your opinion? Is it the 7 days of darkness? I've got a theory for this. I've got a theory about that. But what's your opinion?
7 days of darkness.
Everybody's saying that the sun's going to go away and there's got to be 7 days of darkness. And nobody's to go to their doors and you've not to let anybody in and all this kind of bullshit.
Okay, first off, if the sun were gone that long, we'd be done for.
Of course we would. Of course we would. Oh, look at this.
Hotter than the surface of the sun.
Your internet
to where it
dropped.
physically turned the night sky to daylight. It was that fucking powerful. That would not work out. All these Bible bashers and blue beamers, y'all gotta really research your stuff before you open your fucking mouths.
I'm going to say this one thing: your internet dropped for about 10 seconds.
Doesn't
to zero,
surprise me.
right? Second thing is, this is my theory about the 7 days of darkness. It's no 7 days of darkness as the sun going away. What happens if it's 7 days of the internet going away?
Watch for the anarchy.
Exactly. Can you imagine the anarchy that would follow if the internet stopped working for 7 days?
I mean, think about it. We have everything connected to the internet. We have phones, computers, refrigerators. Everything has some sort of connection with the internet. What happens when you cut off support when the world relies on one resource? When you cut it off?
Here, I'll give you a scenario. I live next to one of Scotland's biggest wind farms, right? I know one of the guys that run it. I've seen in the control room that controls the 200 and odd windmills, right? And he told me, he says it's run, all those windmills are run by one computer that's connected to the internet. And there's a guy in London or Edinburgh, one person that controls that, right? And I says to him, I says, what would happen if the internet stopped? And he says, well, we've got backups, but the backups only last for like a day. If the internet goes out, it automatically cuts the power. And if it's really stormy weather, the brakes fail in the turbines. So they could basically get blown down. They could get destroyed. But it's not just that. Power stations are run by the internet now. Everything is connected to the internet. Cars are connected to the internet. Look at Tesla. I mean, but I'm going to have to bring up that film that was released in Netflix. What was it called again?
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind. Now, this is a good segue to come into this, right? This is a good segue because what is your opinion on that? I've seen clippets yet. I've not seen the whole film. What is your opinion on that?
I haven't seen it myself, but I do know that Elon has stepped forward to address the Tesla scenes. And that he does say there are backups in place to try to prevent that. But it's kind of hard to test for that type of scenario. But again, a lot of that, what's behind that film, the allure of it, if you will, is the fact that the main producers are Barack and Michelle Obama.
Oh, you mean Michael?
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting subject in itself. I mean, did you see the speech that he gave the other day there, where he says, I can walk down the street with my husband, Michael? Yes.
And there's old letters that have been proven to be authenticated where Obama did say he had fantasies about having sex with a man.
I mean,
if that's what he's into. Yeah,
I mean,
that's a choice.
Look, it's whatever he's into, kind of thing. But here's the interesting thing about Leave the World Behind. That's what would happen if the internet went out for 7 days. Anarchy. You think about it, everything would go down. Ships would run aground, planes would crash, and people are saying, "Oh, but how would planes crash and all that?" Look, if somebody hacked into the internet, you could do anything. See the big 747s? The guy down the road from me flies he's a pilot. I was talking to him about this, and he tells us, he says, "See the new 747s, the big ones." He says those things fly themselves. Basically, it's all GPS, right? He says if you hacked into that, you could control one of them. Right? You could control it. I think something's coming because the British government have started saying to the people, "Oh, you should stock up in tinned food, candles, and batteries, and have a radio." And it's either that for war with Christ knows who, or it's something that's going to happen. I think this year something's going to happen on the internet.
Something big's getting ready to go down.
We're starting explaining.
If that's what we're going, if that's how we're actually opening up with 2024 so far, definitely makes you wonder, doesn't it? So Unexplained goes 90% of all DC deep sea internet cables, dear God, run past Ireland, where the Russians have reportedly been very interested in over the past few months, all in international waters. Very true. They can be there, international waters. The law only applies to what country your ship's flag is flying. That's kind of the law behind that.
A lot of people think, right, we're talking, you're in America and I'm talking the new, and everybody thinks this is going through satellite and stuff like that, but it's no, I'm actually, when I speak, it's going right under the sea and out the other side. That's how quick it is. But there's actually, I think there's 3 underground main cables for the United Kingdom, Ireland, to the United States. So if one fails, obviously you've got another 2 backup. But if they were cut, I mean, let's think about this. If they were cut, which would probably be quite easy, all you would need is like a submarine, let's say, and explosives or something like that to take those cables out. The sheer madness that would ensue, then people would be like, oh, but the satellites. No. The financial system, the New York Exchange and stuff, uses the cables. It's the most secure way. You can't transmit it through satellites because it's hackable. Whereas it's a cable, it's more secure. Right? If that was cut, I'm telling you, can you imagine people not able to get on to Facebook for 1 hour, 7 days?
First off, there's this little meme I keep seeing going around. It's in regards to TikTok. Doesn't directly say it's TikTok, but you know it's TikTok from when you go to say it. Country releases an application that promotes teenagers' accounts more than anybody else. Boosts their views.
Yeah.
Kids go to do stupid stunts, gain more followers, views go up, while everybody else goes to struggle. More kids see that, they get addicted to the likes. Start doing even more stupid stunts. Take that away. I have a smoke alarm going off right now.
It'll not be long, ladies and gentlemen. Someone is burning down his house. He'll be back shortly, guys. I'll just read the chat while you guys are here. Scottish Outlooker, welcome. Happy New Year to you, sir. What's that? Unexplained. Let's just bring you up a wee bit there. 90% of the Atlantic cables, even one of the cables goes down, the internet would struggle. Of course it would. Of course it would struggle. I mean, I've seen programs and they're talking about the internet going down. Can you imagine society? I mean, everything's digital now. I mean, I still use money, okay, paper money to buy stuff and that. But when you go to like banks or you go to a cafe, everything's like contactless, right? Imagine you couldn't do that. I mean, let's face it, this society knew everybody's wanting to go as a get rid of money and just have it all digital currency. So if the internet went down, you wouldn't be able to use that internet currency. You wouldn't be able to buy food. You wouldn't be able to buy anything. The trucks wouldn't deliver to the supermarkets because they wouldn't ken what they needed. You know, what happened? Did somebody say fire something?
No, they're cooking.
Oh, what's that? Unexplained says undersea cables are hackable. Check out Operation Ivy Buzz. I will.
Everything's hackable these days. You got to remember that.
Everything's hackable now. I watched an interesting program the other night about the US nuclear defense system. Do you know if the internet goes down, in theory, they could be launched by mistake? Because they would think, because there's like, they all communicate, all the nuclear silos, the 2 people that are in each bunker all communicate through the internet, right? Telephone system, right? See if the internet goes down, they'll lose contact with the White House and they'll be like, oh shit. Why can we not get the White House? We've got a hardline to the White House and we can't get nothing. Right, launch, and they put their keys in, turn, and launch them. I mean, people don't realize that the nuclear defense in the United States is run by really old hackable computers.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean really old, floppies. I mean, a 5-year-old could hack it if they wanted to. Well, it's easy. See, this is why you need a total overhaul of the nuclear system. Get what I mean?
It is kind of a scary thought, and when you really think about it, how just fragile this world actually is. When you think about it, I mean, we're a world that's addicted to war. We're fragile infrastructure all around, financial, technological, all around. Nevertheless,
right. Here's an interesting scenario: nuclear power stations. If the internet goes down in a nuclear power station, right, it shuts down because it'll detect that there's. You've seen the world without people, right? It'll detect that there's nobody there, right? So people will try and keep it running to keep the grid up, but the grid will fail. Let's face it, with internet going down because everything running it. A nuclear power station can last for up to 2 weeks. Some nuclear power stations can last longer because of the fuel generators that they've got, right? How's that fuel going to get delivered if you can't get fuel? But people will be like, oh, but just turn off the nuclear power station. It doesn't work like that. You've got these things called what you call it? The rods are kept, the plutonium's kept and stuff like that. Uranium and stuff's kept. It's got to be kept in water, and it's got to be constantly water to keep it cool. It's good to keep it. That's what the generators are for. If they fail, you've got like a nuclear meltdown, and people are like, oh, well, it'll take a couple of weeks to cool down. No, it doesn't take a couple of weeks to cool down. It takes a long time for it to cool down. Look what happened in Japan when the earthquake hit that, and the diesel generators failed. They had a meltdown.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's 2 nuclear power stations in Scotland.
There's
2 nuclear power stations in Scotland. I think no, there's one. Is there? No, there's 2. I can't remember. It's either 1 or 2. I think there's one near me, Dunbar. I can't remember what the other one is. It's like down south. But yeah, the internet goes down, it'll be pandemonium. You won't be able to buy gas, food. It'll just go to shit.
You'll have all these people, that only focus on themselves. And granted, most of them are just trying to, get by, get their groceries and all this. They're going to start getting frustrated. Mob mentality takes over. People are going to get hurt.
Well, the internet went down, last year in my village. It was only down for like maybe an hour. Nobody could get their lottery tickets. Nobody could use contactless. Nobody could make an appointment at the doctors because they didn't have. They used to use pen and paper, but no anymore. Nobody could basically do anything. Everything ground to a complete and utter halt. Even the water, guys, the water going to your house right now is pumped there with the electricity. So the grid goes down, you're not getting any water. It's like a domino effect. That's what it's like. It's like a domino effect. It's a scary thing, and I think that's what the 7 days of darkness is. I think it's, or the 10 days of darkness, or whatever people want to say it is. I think it's an internet blackout. And when everybody comes out at the world will be totally different. Because let's face it, they could do anything. They could say, oh, when the internet went down, it wiped all YouTube servers, it wiped all the information, it wiped everything. So all these conspiracy channels, all these big conspiracy channels that are actually right, could just disappear.
Oh yeah. Bald and Bonkers could just disappear.
Everything would disappear. There'll be people out saying, aye, but I've got records on my hard drives and stuff like that. Very true. You could start it all back up again. But then you don't know what laws will be passed and stuff like that for it when it comes back. Because let's face it, it will be like a Mad Max scenario when it comes back up. Loads of folk can't get onto Facebook and stuff like that. It'll be mad.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be mad. Hey, it's a scary thought, guys. It's a scary thought.
It is.
So what else is new and happening in the world?
think those are the major topics going on right now.
What's this? Oh, society that's on TikTok. They know everybody's talking about it. They're saying that the core of the planets are heating up. Mars's core's heating up. Everywhere's heating up, and the Earth's got to turn into a giant flaming ball, and everybody's going to die in 7 years' time. I think that's, again, I would like to say, I think that is. I think it's different. I think people are trying to. What's the word I'm looking here? It's fear tactics.
Fear porn.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna get flagged because I just said porn.
Alan, stop listening.
Oh, he's gonna be beaten with a
Avert your
crucifix,
eyes.
isn't he?
Put your hands against your ears. You never heard that. You'll never heard that. You'll be
Put
fine.
your hands against your ears. Avert your eyes from your screen.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Hands on your ears and nowhere else.
Yeah, but I will say this: I do want to come back to that Jeffrey Epstein thing because that's just the people involved in that. Jesus.
Oh, fuck! It's getting bad, and there's still more names to be brought out.
There's still more. Stephen Hawkins. Obviously, it was obviously I shouldn't be laughing at this, but obviously he was there before he went in the wheelchair. Unless he was there when he was in the wheelchair.
There's photos of him there in a wheelchair.
I mean, it took him about an hour and a half to write out a sentence.
I mean, I gotta. I would. That's one of those things where I'd be curious to see the type of accommodations they use to keep the wheelchair from going all over in the plane.
That's actually really interesting. I mean, oh dear, what happened to that island? Is it obviously it's still there? Does MD own it anymore, or has it just been totally abandoned?
Not exactly sure.
That's a good point, isn't it? You look that up.
I'm actually gonna. What happens with Epstein Island?
It's a good point, that, isn't it? I mean, that's what happened. I mean, it is shocking. Prince Andrew, he was there too. I mean, Jesus. There's actually quite a few people that was there, and
it's dear God, someone's going to turn it into a resort. Little St. James Island is.
Oh, there's Dots. Dots, you know about air brakes already?
Air brakes.
My God, that man knows everything. He's probably booking himself in right now.
No, apparently, St. James Island is under new ownership, and the new finance and the new owners are going to try to turn it into a resort island.
Wow, what they calling it?
I don't know. I don't know how.
Pedo World.
I don't know how they could possibly rebrand from that.
I can see the big cruise ships, the new coming up in, you know.
Think about it. To kind of shift it into supernatural territory. Yeah, unfortunately, Trump was on the list as well.
I seen that.
Clinton more so, and ironically, some of the people that already tried to name that the Clintons were on that list are dead. But just to think, I just had a thought. It's kind of scary, but it could kind of shift it into kind of the ghosty supernatural side of things.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the type of hauntings that would be on that island?
Oh, Dakota, you've got a terrible mind.
No, think about it. Any severe case of like poltergeist and potentially even demonic attachments, 9 times out of 10, there's severe cases of abuse going on. I'm not saying to go there to try to exploit it for ghosts. I'm just saying, can you imagine if someone were to reestablish that, what kind of hauntings could stir up?
Well, can you imagine sleeping in the same building where this went on? Where people were forced to do these things?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was actually talking to somebody in the but the women weren't made to do these things. It says the women were on this island, they had no choice in the matter. They were on an island. What were they meant to do? Swim to land?
You got to remember, The flight logs show there's plenty of girls that went to the island and never left.
I know that. Mm-hmm.
There's
So what
people
happened to
still
them?
unaccounted for.
Yeah.
Sex
It makes you
trade.
wonder how much bodies are buried on the island or has been dumped into the sea.
Mm.
There's actually John Morris. Trump wasn't on the list for going to the island. Only a flew plane once from Florida to New York. He never met. He was staying ever again after that. He didn't like him. So there you go.
Yeah. But still, there's plenty of people that are coming out saying that everybody knew that something was off about Epstein.
Come on. I'm going to say this now. I mean, you've got all this carry on with Pizzagate and all this kind of stuff. Okay, I mean, it's getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It needs the needle. I'm telling you, it needs to be cleaned up. All this needs to be put to a stop. See all this behaviour, running about women and stuff like that. It needs to stop.
But
It's
here's
not
the
just
thing.
women; it's men too that have been doing things to
Here's
children.
the thing. People are trying to say, "Oh, the women are the innocent parties in all this," and yes, there's innocent victims in this. Women should take over the world because they would never be happy. Look how many fucking women are on that list.
I know.
Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we know Oprah's gets ties with
Cher.
Christ knows us. Look at Oprah. Look at Oprah with Hawaii and the blue roofs fiasco with all the trees, everything that burned down.
Look
and the
at
child smuggling
Oprah's
rings.
spiritual guru who was sentenced to 90 years in prison for sex trafficking.
Aye. She's probably supplied that island. Look, it will all come out eventually, but when it does come out, it'll be too late because everybody will be dead. Because they're too old.
Something else, I guess, would technically tie into this. Have you seen this bit about the Cat Williams interview he did?
No.
Where he publicly outed people for being in the Illuminati and their common trade practices?
No, I never seen that.
Oh, it's been all over. He admitted that there's people that take on these deals that'll get him this beautiful, lighter-skinned wife that never does an interview, and they'll get all of these movies and be set for life. All these celebrities, ever since that interview, are freaking out about the stuff he talked about.
Just look at the Rock, how he helped Oprah going about the Hawaii incident and tried to make money off it.
The Rock looked awfully uncomfortable for the promos stuff he did.
See, what's his name come out and talked about it? What's his name? Him that does what's his name? What's the film? He's Under the Sea. Oh, he's one of the superheroes. What do you call him? He used to be in a Stargate Atlantis. He used to be in Stargate Atlantis.
Momoa.
Ah, right. You see how he came out and talked about it, about her and The Rock. Mm-hmm. How he said there was strange things. I think he knows what's going on. I think there's a lot of actors out there that know what's going on. They've walked away from it. They've refused it, and then they've died. Some of them have died just mysteriously.
Some of them, I mean, look at the story about Isaac Cappy. It's a story we brought up. He wasn't exactly big, but he was starting to get out there. He was starting to break the mold. He would start doing Marvel movies, and Seth Green, also on the list, approaches him about needing to talk about chicken, which has been found to be code word for pedophile rings.
Yeah.
And there's been Obama, who has allegedly, for the sake of argument, and that'll end up in a mysterious car crash here in the near future, ordered a large amount of hot dogs and pizzas for a top secret party at the White House.
Yeah. You just need to look at President, what's his name? What's that guy you've got to know, the complete idiot? Biden.
Let's talk about him. Why
he
is
likes
it
sniffing things? I've noticed that. He likes to sniff things. Did you see what he did at a rally? Oh, I think it was about a month ago. He was, or it was no as long as that. He walked up to somebody and he says, you look, what is it? He says, you look younger, or was it older or something? He said to the young girl. She was like, you look 19, and she was only 14 or something.
Yeah. let's talk about Mr. Biden here. Why is it that all of a sudden Tim Ballard, after publicly outing Biden for not doing anything about the kids being trafficked over the border, why is
Yeah.
it all of a sudden Ballard had several anonymous women trying to claim that he was sexually assaulting him? He was sexually harassing him.
Yeah.
Awfully convenient that those accusations start coming out 3 days later.
Do you not find it strange that how some actors, just like really good actors that are in the field, die mysteriously?
Because they tried to come out.
What was that guy's name? He was in Star Trek, but he was also in. He was in. Remember the new Star Trek?
Oh yeah,
The young boy, but he also did a
Younger,
paranormal film where it was Ken demons or something. He was fighting. You could
yeah,
see the dead.
yeah.
He was
There
running out
was
of a
I
Zen.
believe the official I can't remember what his name was, but the official explanation was some sort of brake failure with his Jeep, but he ended up getting crushed to death.
Aye, no. What I heard was that it was parked in his drive and it reversed out of the top of him.
Yeah, that there was some sort of brake failure and it crushed him. That was the official explanation.
Yeah.
And there's like Paul Walker, who was allegedly looking
Yeah.
into sex trafficking rings before he died. And if you look carefully inside of the video of before his Ferrari blew up, he could have very well still been alive.
Scottish Outlook the Poltergeist movie had a few actors who died shortly after filming it. It's quite interesting he mentions that movie because there was a lot of folk.
There's a lot of horror films that have stories like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at The Exorcist.
Well, let's go slightly newer with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Based on a video game about haunted animatronics that were killing people. Story is that children were being murdered and stuffed into these animatronics, and that's what got them possessed.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently, one of the animatronics started moving on its own.
Yeah, I heard that.
They were all remote controlled.
What's his
They
name?
are all remote controlled.
What's the guy's name? What's his name? He played that new vampire film that came out not long ago. Renfield. Did you know that was in that?
Nicholas Hoult wasn't in it.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage was in one, and it's the one where the kids were killed and put in the animatronics. And
he was. It was a similar movie, yes, but that's not the same one.
Is that not the same one? I thought that was the same one. There you go. You learn something new every day.
No, the killer in
I don't watch many
the movie
movies.
was Matthew Lillard, the guy who played Scooby-Doo. Shaggy in live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
It's a lot of good actors out there mysteriously die, and I think if you turn around and say, I'm no standing for this, I'll stay quiet, but I'm no standing for this, and you'll die mysteriously. I really do think that.
The ones who knew about it but shut up, they still lived. The ones who tried to make active efforts to try to expose it were the ones that ended up getting killed.
Do you ever watch The Tonight Show? Oh, what's that guy's name? Is it? Oh, Jesus! It's based out of Hollywood.
Doesn't limit it down.
It's like The Tonight Show. I think
Kimmel?
I think it's The Tonight Show. I can't remember.
You talking Jimmy Kimmel?
Aye, that's him. He had a guest there, a pop star on. Oh, you can look this up on YouTube. And she come on. I can't remember her name. She come on to talk about her album, and on the album it's her standing, and she's like that, and then she's like standing like that, and in it there's the all-seeing eye. Mm-hmm. And she says to everybody in the audience, "Oh, do you want me to tell you what that means?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh no, I'll tell everybody what that means." And she's like, "Don't, no." And switch on to something else. Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened to what's his name that played the Grinch?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Jim Carrey. Look what happened. Was it his wife?
His girlfriend.
But look what happened.
He started talking. He started talking, and his girlfriend ended up dead.
Yeah.
Something that really almost pushed him over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Because they started saying, "Oh, this isn't real. This is all artificial."
Exactly. And that's why a lot of these actors are freaking out about Cat Williams, because he full on said that he and Ludacris were invited to an Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
And Ludacris was the one who got a special deal that said he had to lose certain types of facial hair, that he would make like over $200 million at $2 million a movie for a franchise that's going to have 20 movies. And the first thing he does is, how many Fast and Furious movies are out there now?
This is what I'm going to say now. Somebody sent me this link ages ago, and I watched it, and I thought, again, there is something weird there. You ever heard the conspiracy with the celebrities that have all had the cast on their foot? You know what I'm talking about? It's always like either the left or the right foot. I can't remember what one it is. And all these celebrities, every one of them's had this cast in their right foot.
Yeah, there's a version of it where it's their left eye that's bruised. They have a black eye.
Yeah.
And Roseanne Barr got to talk about it in an interview she did. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, Roseanne Barr is one of them." Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "Some people are just fucking clumsy, you idiots."
Aye, but that's a lot of people. It's a lot, and it's only celebrities that have got the it's like the boot. It's like one of the medical ones that you get.
First off, you got to take into consideration, okay?
Aye.
It's not just celebrities. The celebrities are the ones that are just more in the public eye.
That's very true. It could trip out or something a little bit.
Yeah, they're on stage.
The Red Shoe Club.
Look how much Harrison Ford's been hurting himself lately.
It's like, what's it? Tanya there, what was it? The Red Shoe, the boot, then the Scottish Outlook car. Was it the Red Shoe Club? I've heard about that. Or the Black Eye was another. Yeah. Look, the famous folk are all Illuminati. I'm going to say it. If I disappear, Dakota will be looking for a new co-host, so you can put your reservations in or whatever. I'm going to say this now. Hollywood and the movie industry is full of Illuminati.
Full of them, yes. But
so connected.
The main distinction is when someone has a career that boosts up out of nowhere, is usually an indicator that they did something.
Yeah.
Not all the celebrities are into that stuff. They're the ones you usually don't see out there being promoted and all that. I mean, look at Ricky Gervais. He outed so many people. He just had a new Netflix special, and Netflix didn't even bother to promote it.
Yeah,
because the reason he got promotion because everybody was trying to cancel it.
He did that speech at the Golden Globes or whatever it was. And
I'm shocked he's still fucking alive after that one.
That was the most epic speech in history. I mean, we actually mentioned the Epstein Island and stuff like that, and he said, "Oh, your friends and stuff like that." Look at what's his name? That Forrest Gump.
He was at that. How many of them were starting to shy away? Mm-hmm. That was a fucking dead giveaway of how many. It's not all of them, but it is a good majority. Tom Hanks, he is tied into a lot of shit. I gotta be careful what I say because he likes to come up to Idaho for vacation.
Yeah, I think we need to dive deeper into this tomorrow with tomorrow's show. We need to dive deeper into the kind of. It's not just the movie industry. I mean, you've got the paranormal side of that. You've got a lot of problems in the paranormal side too, and the UFO side. Paranormal Predators. Remember, we did that show.
And ironically, didn't he make a little joke about him being in the Illuminati?
He did actually. He did. And did you not know that is actually a thing? If you join the Illuminati, you have to tell everybody.
You can tell everybody, but you can also hide it, and most people would just assume it's creative.
I'm going to say this. We'll get into this more the more. We're going to talk about maybe the paranormal, and we're going to talk about things that's happened in the paranormal, but we're also going to talk about things that's happened in the movie world with people. It's a subject that we need to get into. On Monday night, I'm doing a show with Jenny talking about predators and the paranormal. We've actually got a guest for that. We'll be talking about that. There's too much of this now. It's getting ridiculous. Look at it. Look, it's everywhere now. As Trump says, we do need to drain the swamp. It is getting ridiculous now.
Here's
The
the
amount
thing.
of abuse people are getting put up against.
Here's the thing, though. This reminds me of something that a teacher I had in high school used to say. Is it that the world is getting worse, that we have all this going on? Or is it the fact that we're just starting to realize it?
I think it's
We're
just
actually
that.
starting to acknowledge it, actually talking about it.
I think it's been going on for a very long time behind closed doors. And new modern society, obviously, you get technology like this and that, is opening it up. That is opening it up.
Mm-hmm.
And people are out there, you get the old fashioned people out there where men are men and men should do this and men are the boss and men are this. No, come on. It's a modern civilization now. We've got women can do the same stuff as men can do. I ken there's some stuff that they can't do and stuff like that. But come on. Seriously. There's some really talented people out there that work in the paranormal field that are women that do a better job than some men. And that's what I think. I think that's what does it. I honestly think that's why they treat them like shit. You know? Because they're jealous. I really do. And I think we're going to get more into this tomorrow. Which that yes, because we're learning about we can figure out how to prevent it from happening again.
Thank you. There's a lot. Thank you, Tatiana. I'll say that. Thank you. I've been saying that for a while. All these people that go to try to say, Dakota, you shouldn't talk about this low vibrational stuff. We have to acknowledge that it was there so we don't repeat the same fuck ups.
Yeah. I think men have got away with it for a long time, being sexist, being what they are, nasty, right? I'm a man, you're a man, you're a man, I'm a man. You know what I mean? But there's some is that are sticking up for the women and stuff like that, and it's absolutely terrible how some women have been treated just because they're really good at what they do.
Here's the thing. There's another thing we got to acknowledge. We want equal opportunities for everybody, regardless of race, sex, gender, sexual identity, all that. Understandable. We need to allow everybody to have the similar opportunities that actually gets off their ass and does it. But we also have to acknowledge that because women are often seen as the victims, there's a lot of women who are also big time perpetrators.
Yep.
That contribute to this a hell of a lot more.
Exactly.
You have women like Elaine Maxwell. Look how much she contributed to this fucking bullshit. Oprah, you wouldn't think a woman like that who advocates for women's rights would often traffic young girls.
Yeah. It's women have to be held responsible too, right? I understand that. But there is a lot of men, and there is a lot of men, and not just the paranormal field, everywhere, that are sexist pricks. Let's just face it that way, right? It's just the way they are, right? That needs to end. It needs to end. We need to work together for a better future. Okay, I mean, you think about it. If there's a kid looking at his dad and he sees his dad treating the woman really bad, right? Maybe he'll grow up and treat his wife or his girlfriend that way. What's that there?
Yeah, don't. It's spam.
Oh, is that what that is?
I already read through it. It's spam. That long ass one.
We got spammed guys. You can't see our chat in the corner, but you'll get banned probably shortly. But look, we'll get more into this tomorrow. But it is a subject that we need to talk about because there's too many arseholes out there getting away with stuff. And they know the other men they'll stand behind the other man, the man that's in question, and they go, "Oh, he didn't do that. I would never do that." Look, I don't experience these people, so yeah. So anyway, that's a show for tomorrow night. Yeah.
No, I'll say it. I'll say my thoughts on this. No two individuals are truly equal.
Yeah.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses, but the one thing that has allowed humanity to be able to survive through every major calamity, every major disaster, is us coming together regardless.
Yes.
It shouldn't matter if it's a woman or a man. If they're putting in the honest work, then go for it. That's it.
No. Like, it's like, what's that? If we all work together, we get there fast. Exactly, Dots. Exactly. But you do get individuals in this world that think they're all high and mighty and they expect people to do stuff for them and they don't give anything in return. And then when somebody complains, they get made a arsey and nasty to them, and then the other people don't believe unless you record something. Get what I mean? This is the madness here. Get what I mean? And it just really annoys me. The paranormal field and the UFO field, guys, who are doing this to these people, stop it, because we're just seeing right through, and honestly, I'm shocked at that, and I'm disgusted about the way you've been acting, and that's what I'm going to say about that part.
Unfortunately, like we said, there comes a point where we didn't want to acknowledge it, but there's too much coming forward.
I know, but what can you do? It needs to be put a stop to. It needs to now. I mean, we're meant to be a technologically advanced human race now. You know what I mean? And social. There's still racism. The racism out there is absolutely disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and there's people out there that say, "Oh, I'm no racist," but behind closed doors, when they don't think they're getting seen, they say stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm no sexist, but behind closed doors, when they don't think they're getting heard, they say stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that they're big, saying things. And saying things about people with depression and stuff like that, which I'm not going to...
People with depression trying to accuse others of being immature just because, they're younger.
Yeah. It's I'll be discussing this on Monday night with Jenny on Paranormal Uncut, and we've got a guest to talk about this that's had first-hand experience in this kind of matter. But you'll need to tune in tomorrow night as we will talk more about Jeffrey Einstein's island of terribleness, probably. And we'll also be talking about other things happening around the world,
Who knows? At this rate, we might have alien invasion by tomorrow for how crazy this year's already starting out,
Unless they pick me up first, I'm not kidding,
Yeah, get me out of here.
Right. Catch you later, dudes. And Dakota, what you saying?
No, just much love. Stay safe, y'all. I hope y'all had awesome holidays, regardless of whether or not you celebrate. 2024 is going to be an interesting one. So let's get going.